Okay, I'm back for another step. I see a little drift right there, but anyway, this layer of my painting is almost completely dry. I'm probably going to dry it just a little bit more, but anyway, I want to show you something. See those colors right there that just made themselves? That's why I like watercolor. It's magic. It has a mind all its own. And so you don't paint watercolor like you paint a house. You don't just take your brush and go. I trickle some color and then let it work its magic. When I was a little bitty girl, I don't even know whether cars do this or not anymore, but I used to love to go out after my dad got home from work and see where the oil had dripped onto the concrete of the carport, because the oil was filled with different colors. It was like a kaleidoscope, and I could see different colors in there. That was when I was a tiny, tiny girl. I actually think that people underestimate children. We don't realize how many things that children see and feel about typically, but I know for a fact that children have a lot of feelings, and that's one reason I work with children, because I want to let them know that I know that they have a lot of feelings and they have a lot to say, and I wish I could just sit and read picture books to you all day long to show you that a lot of times it's the grown-ups who don't see and hear what's going on, and the children do see. All right, I'm going to come in here with some. I'm going to put, okay, another color of yellow is lemon yellow, cadmium yellow lemon, and that cadmium yellow light is an orangey lemon, orangey yellow, and cadmium yellow lemon is a greenish yellow, orangey yellow, greenish yellow. And one of the most important parts of doing watercolor is realizing if you're working with an orangey color or a greeny color, because you need to be careful where you mix those different colors. So anyway, so I'm gonna use this cadmium yellow lemon to sort of indicate where I see these little bracts, and you know, I think it's interesting that the little bracts that come out behind a sunflower and behind a lot of different flowers look like petals too. You see that at Christmas time with the poinsettias. The poinsettias look like the petals. It's like the flower doesn't know when to quit being a petal and when to start being a leaf, because the petals and the leaves look just alike. They're just different colors, and that's the way a lot of flowers are. So I like, okay, this come down here. All right, let's see. We got a stem coming down right here. You see that you're already seeing that my color is picking up some green. The next color on my palette is leaf green, and it's a very, and a lot of times I actually look at this. I have a palette that I mix my greens on, and a palette that I mix my reds on, and a palette that I mix my blues on. I change my water constantly because I don't want any contamination. I want when I'm painting green, I want to paint green, and I don't want some red freckle flicking over there unless I invite it to do that. So a lot of it, what I do is control, just control. Be a control freak. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm putting some more really. I wish that this had a put. Well, I'm gonna work with what I have, and that's a story of life. In fact, I have lived all over. I've lived in Mississippi. I've lived in Missouri. I've lived in New Jersey. I've lived in the Ozark Mountains in Arkansas. Nothing's perfect. So you have to just learn to make hay while the sun shines, and to make lemonade out of lemons. Because nothing's perfect. If you wait for the perfect, it'll never come, and you'll be waiting your entire life. That's why I paint, because I can control paint. Watercolor, you can't control a whole lot. I'm going to be very honest about that. But you can sort of control that environment. And when I paint, even on, like today's a gloomy day, I chose to be light. I chose to be sunshiny. So I'm controlling my environment. Okay, after I do the lemon yellow, I do just a little bit of viridian, but not a whole lot. I mix it. All right, now let me tell you something. Green and orange make brown. So if I'm not careful with where I put this green, because red and green make brown, they're complements. They're also Christmas colors, and side by side they're beautiful, but if they mix, they make brown. Just like I just made browns by mixing these two complements, which were blue and orange. So I am very cognizant of the fact that this thing wants to turn brown. It wants to be Mr. Brown. So I'm trying to control it the best I can. All right, now then, I'm going to go ahead and pull in a little bit of blue. Notice that I'm changing my water to clean water. It has flour in it. That's a nice thing to have. That's a nice problem to have, is a flour problem. Okay, now I paint with a lot of cobalt blue, because it can go either way. It can be kind of bluish, it can be kind of greenish, it can be kind of purplish. It's kind of it's easy to please. So I'm going to come in here and indicate this bottle with this blue, with this cobalt blue. Now then, I put it on pretty thick there. Now let me show you something. When I thin it down, see how much what a different color it makes? Now then, why is it looking green there? Because I put green on there. Now that's where I don't have much green. All right, now that's a little bit of blue there. Now then, I'm going to go up here and go into a very dark, the same dark blue that I put in right here and I'm going to put a little bit of shadow into the green. Now, okay, if I'm not real careful, I could have a mess so bad that I will never salvage it, which I may. And that's the thing about watercolor. You don't have a whole lot of, I control my environment. You don't have a whole lot of control with watercolor. He kind of does his own thing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and, I don't like the way, and it's gonna blend and blather and make a big mess. This may be where I lose it, because I want some other colors back here behind the background. And back in that cobalt again. All right, if I don't want to pick up, what did I do when I wanted that red to, or that black or whatever to move? I touched it. If I don't want it to move, I don't touch it. I avoid it at all costs. So I wish I could pick this up right now, but I can't. I skip the place. I leave a little white bridge or a little white fence around, a little unpainted, unwatery fence around the color, and that dry place stops the water from moving. Now then, you see, I have blue water, I have green water. Now I'm going to go back to a little bit of, and this is, I'm getting real testy with this. I'm going to put a little bit of, I said the light's coming from over here. I'm going to go back and put some yellow over here where the light's coming. In oil, I would, well, I don't know what I would do. I do also paint in oil. I think okay, there I touched it. There I touched it. There I touched it. There I touched it. But when you do that, know what you're doing. Be careful. But you know something? Don't be careful, but don't be afraid. Because so what if you mess it up? It's a piece of paper and a little bit of paint. Mess it up and do it again. I'm not going to pick this up right now, but I'm going to show you in just a minute, if it stays there, how these little places that are running free on their own are picking up this different shapes that intrigue me, that interest me, that started. They make me happy. They wow me. Let me show you something I do a lot of times. If I just want it to be a little bit of water, see how I'm shaking my brush? And that kind of adds a little bit of water without a little bit of extra magic somewhere. Okay, I gotta let this dry again, and so we'll do that, and then we'll get back to you. Now I did one more touch of blue right here. Okay, so what is this? That's the background. That blue is the background. That yellow is the background. The bottle is the middle ground. It's in front of the background, but behind the flower. The flower is the foreground. It's the star of the show. The leaves are even middle ground. They're behind the star too. They're not the star of the show.